Hi, I'm Helen and welcome to my channel. Today's class will be a yin class to focus on the legs. Props that you'll need today is a blanket, maybe a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, then hardback books are fine. So gather all that stuff up now and I'll see you on the mat. So we'll start in a comfortable seat. I'm sitting with my hips elevated on a block so they're higher than my knees. This enables the spine to be nice and straight. Just start to settle here, maybe place the palms face down on the knees, or you can have them in the lap. Close the windows of the eyes and turn the arrows of attention inwards and start to focus your awareness on your breathing. Nice inhales and exhales. Maybe you inhale and exhale through the mouth. Just letting go of anything that might be on your mind, anything that's been going on this week or that you've got going on later today, depending on what time you're practicing. Maybe letting go of the morning you've had already. And then bring the awareness to the parts of the body that are in contact with the earth. Maybe the shins, the tops of the feet, the ankles, the sit bones. Then bring your awareness to your root area, the perineum, Muladhara, root support. To the lower belly, Svadhisthana, one's own abode. Now raise your awareness to the navel, Manipura, lustrous gem. And then to the heart, Anahata, unstruck. To the throat, Vishuddha, purification. To the third eye, Ajna, perceive. And to the space above the head, to the crown, Srahasara, thousand-petaled lotus. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And when you're ready, just slowly flutter the eyes open. So we'll come into our first posture, which is butterfly. And this gets into the adductors, the inner thighs. So you can bring the seat to the earth, and depending on how open your groin is will be how it feels. You can also sit up on a blanket, just elevating the sit bones a little bit, and this makes it a little bit more accessible. Bringing the soles of the feet together and retrieve the block that I just threw away. Using the blocks, you can help give yourself a little bit of support. So bringing the soles of the feet together and then coming forward from the waist and just allowing the body to round down. So maybe you can make a little tower to support the head, and I'll start the timer. So we'll be here for a few minutes. And when you begin this posture, you might be quite high up like I am. And as you sit, going to your edge, coming to stillness, and staying for a duration of time, you may find you can get a little bit deeper as the body starts to release and surrender.
The first principle of yin is finding that appropriate edge. So I think it's always wise to start backing off a little bit in these poses. And as the body becomes used to the shape and starts to release, you can go a little bit deeper. And then the second principle is stillness. Stillness in the body and in the mind. And the third principle is staying for time. So as we sit and simmer in these poses, we get deep into those connective tissues. This pose here is getting into the adductors, the inner thighs, the fascial bags. And these are often what can restrict our range of motion. So when we practice yin, when we stress these areas, it helps increase our range of motion and makes our body more efficient. Take a long, last deep breath. And on an inhale, we'll slowly come up, move straight into the next posture. So using the strength of the hands, again, open the legs into straddle. So you may still remain with your hips elevated. The legs are just loose, we don't want any muscle engagement. And when you're ready, we'll start to come forward. So we're coming forward from the hip creases, and you may be here. And over time, and as you surrender down, you may bring the elbows to some blocks. This is getting into the hamstrings, into the back of the leg, the fascial bags at the back. So fascia is like an elastic 3D sock that encases our whole body and supports it. It's made of collagen and elastin and has water-filled vacuoles as well. And often it's the fascia that can restrict our flexibility and mobility. So our yin class is perfect to get into this connective tissue and help us release. So as you melt into these poses, that appropriate edge may move away from you. So I'm already feeling that I can get a bit deeper. Your body may be flat to the floor, or you may be higher than mine. Whatever position you're in, that's fine. It's just appropriate for your body. On an inhale, we'll slowly come up. Join the opening in the back of the legs. And the next posture, which will work this front of the thigh, the quad, is swan pose. So we'll start with full swan. So in Yang Yoga, this is known as pigeon or Ekapada Rajakapotasana, one-legged half pigeon pose. So we'll start bringing the right knee forward. So I'm going to have to move this dog. So depending on the openness of your hip is what the angle of this front thigh is going to be. So my foot is quite near my groin. You can use this blanket to help give you some support. So the hips are facing forward. That's it. And we'll start upright. So this is full swan. So you can use the hands. You can either have the hands on blocks. So with the body upright, we are using gravity to help get deep into the thigh and the hips, because the center of gravity is over the hips. So you should be feeling this in the left hip flexor and the left quad. So this is stretching out the front of the leg. So when we do this, when the body is cold, it's getting into the connective tissues. If we do it when it's warm, it goes to the muscle. So this is why yin is practiced cold, with a cold body. Although it is about 32 degrees here, so I feel pretty hot, but my actual body is not warmed up, so it's cold. And placing this blanket underneath this front cheek just gives you a little bit of support and allows the alignment to be a bit better, so you're not lopsided and leaning onto one hip. If you're quite open in the hips, your glute might be all the way to the earth anyway, so you might not be hovering. So this is just to help if you need a little modification. We have another long deep breath here. We'll move into sleeping swan. So this is coming forward onto the forearms. Maybe the chest comes all the way down. You can stack the hands and place the forehead, or you can also use a block. So do what's appropriate for your body. Releasing here. Trying to avoid any fidgeting, embracing that stillness. These forward folds can be quite contemplative, allowing you to turn inwards, observing any thoughts that are coming up, acknowledging them, and then just letting them go. Taking one long last deep breath. And then very slowly we come all the way up. Swing this back leg round. We just do a little bit of windscreen wipering before we go on to the other side. So bringing the left knee forward. You'd be sitting up on a blanket to give yourself a little bit of support. This right leg comes back. And remember, we will start upright. So if this is a bit tough with your hands on the floor, you can use blocks. So our center of gravity is over the hip and this thigh. The intention of this posture is to get into this thigh and open it up. Maybe closing the eyes. If your left hip is very open, your shin will be more parallel to the front of the mat. Taking one more deep breath. And then very slowly we'll start to descend forward, coming into sleeping swan. So you can bring the elbows down. You can even maybe support the head with the fists. And bring the head to the tops of the hands. You can even use a block, whatever feels good. And then very slowly we'll start to move out of this posture, swinging this back leg round. Coming into those windscreen wipers. Just releasing the thighs, the hips. So we worked on the adductors with butterfly. We worked on the hamstrings with straddle. We've just worked on the quads with swan. So all we have left is the abductors and the IT band. So for this, we'll come into banana asana. So laying all the way back down onto your back, moving both feet to the left edge of the mat, and then the upper body also moves to the left. So your body looks like a banana if somebody was looking down on you. The arms can come over the head, maybe grabbing the right wrist with the left hand and settling here. So feeling your body in this banana shape. So this is targeting the outside of the right thigh. And as you get more comfortable in this position, you may be able to lift the right foot and hook it over the top of the left ankle. So that gives a little bit more juice to the pose. Breathing here. And then very gently start to come back to the midline, moving back in super duper slow motion. Once you're there on the midline, just bringing the knees into the chest. Before we moved on to the other side. Observing how you feel in body and in mind. And then when you're ready, releasing the legs out one by one. This time walking them over to the right side of the mat. The upper body also moves to the right side. Arms come up overhead and grabbing the left wrist with the right hand. Banana asana, side B. So you can start with the legs next to each other, and as you become more comfortable and the body starts to open, you may be able to lift this left foot up and hook it over the right ankle to come a little bit deeper. It's always wise in these yin poses to start pretty gently and then move towards your edge as the body opens. Don't flex the feet in this pose, just allow them to just hang out. Getting into this left outer thigh and hip. Maybe your eyes are closed. Apparently, if we close our eyes, it helps conserve 44% of our brain energy. That's how much energy is used to process the information that comes from the eyes. So quite often when you're thinking about something, you really need to concentrate. If you close your eyes, you can give your brain that little bit of a boost. And then when you're ready, very gently, we'll come back to the midline. Bringing the knees in again, one by one into the chest. Giving yourself a little squeeze. And the next pose is final resting, Shavasana. So allow the legs to stretch out one by one, feet flop open to the sides of the mat. Palms are by the side, facing upwards, maybe the fingers curling towards the heart. Shoulders are snuggled down the back. Back of the neck is long and chin is slightly tucked. Jaw is relaxed, tongue is relaxed, face is relaxed, eyes are closed. Scalp is relaxed, whole body, total relaxation, Shavasana. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe move the femur bones in and out in the hip sockets. Take a full body stretch if that feels good. And then knees come in one by one into the chest. A little squeeze. Coming over onto one side, and very gently, when you're ready, pushing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Palms face down on the knees, tall spine, maybe close the eyes, just reconnect, reflect, observe how you feel. Maybe your legs feel a little bit freer. Close the clasp, bringing the hands together at the chest. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope to see you again soon. If you enjoyed that, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I post new content every week. My content is aimed at women like me who are over 50 to help with their overall health and well-being, with their mobility and their strength and their endurance. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.